What's going on, guys? Winner Kills here. Welcome back to a brand new duel video. Again, another video from a stream. I was recording at the same time as streaming, just like I said. Kill two birds with one stone. Again, using the new camera. Spellbooks versus True Draco. It's a bit of a weird matchup. I think I might have had this matchup once before a few weeks ago. But right now, I'm in the process, thanks to sort of a rude awakening. One of my Discord members, Handloop again. He was telling me today in the Discord, like, you know, I guess some sort of critiques about how I do my duel videos currently, and I was sort of like, you know what, my duel videos are fine, dude. You know, they don't really need to be changed. But then I sort of thinking, you know, get past the ego, swallow the pride, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, hey, they could be a lot better, couldn't they? Well, that's why I think I'm currently, I can say without a doubt, I'm currently in the process of overhauling how I completely do my duel videos. And sorry, I'm not talking about exactly what's happening right now as the instant fusion goes off. Change the Majesty Maiden. Go to summon Thousand Eyes here, but basically an overhaul of how I'm going to be doing these duel videos in the future. And simply put, for the most part, I'm going to be trying to achieve more of a top-down angle, which I would do that now, but the space that I have to record here is simply not large enough, and the tripod that I have currently does not give me the best shot, nor is it stable enough to sort of have that camera at that such severe angle that I would need it to be in order to, you know, get that perfect overhead top-down view that you'd see in a lot of feature matches on streams and stuff. So I have since actually today just ordered a brand new tripod. It wasn't cheap, but you know, I had to do it, had to pick it up, and we're gonna be getting life points and stuff on the screen, slowing things down a bit instead of speeding things up so fast. And get an overlay perhaps on the screen and make things look a little bit nicer. So I just want to let you know that's what's happening in the future. But so what happened there that turn was I used Spellbook of Wisdom on my Priestess to make it unaffected by the effects of Skill Drain for the turn, so I could use her effect to banish the Spellbook, engrave, and then destroy the diagram, allowing me to run over, of course, his Majesty Maiden, and then he takes quite a considerable amount of damage. And I think he drew into like order for turn, and unfortunately wasn't able to use it at all that game. So I actually end up taking game one, surprisingly. He goes first here, you know, Heritage, Tribute, and then plays another Heritage, and then draws an additional card, sets one on top of that. I normal summon Blue Boy here and go ahead and get the effect to search. He does Chain. He does add a spell. I believe he added Disciples. I know that was kind of quick and you guys couldn't really see, but I believe he added Disciples. And then I go ahead and play, I summon Priestess, and then I play Secrets. So I lose the Secrets to the order, but I have, of course, the Priestess there to pop it. I just wish there was a way to get Priestess on board a lot faster. And I know you could say, you know, play the Temperance build, but I've tried the Temperance build. I've gone like back and forth between the Temperance build a couple of times, and I've just liked it. I've hated it. I've gone to Justice, and you know, you have to play World. You don't have to play World with, you know, Temperance, but like, I might go back to the Temperance build because I find myself a lot of times I get Priestess on board are the games that I'm winning more often, or at least having a better time in the attempts to win. I'm not trying to make Spellbooks tier 1. Don't get confused by that. I'm just trying to make the deck playable for my standards, I guess. And I go ahead and, you know, as you saw last turn, I beat over the Ignis with the power. And, of course, I have that Spellbook of Star Hall as well, giving me some additional advantage. I kind of do like Star Hall. It's done a lot more good for me than it has bad. It's banished target for, of course, you know, Fate, Priestess. The additional attack boost is great, and the fact that it adds as a searcher if it gets destroyed is awesome. You know, it makes them think twice about hitting it, and then same thing with Tower, because you do get the additional special summons off those, and then the search off of Star Hall. So here we are. Right now, I have a 2700 attack Priestess that right now, even if he had Diagram, which he does, still can't beat over. I had to remind him that the additional 200 attack boost is coming from the Star Hall, putting Priestess to 27. Of course, Majesty Maiden's 26. And then he does destroy it with Heritage. So that happened late. I think that was a bit of a mistake. made. And this was kind of late, so I guess that'll be my excuse for the mishap in the play there. He wanted to pop that Star Hall with the other Heritage or Disciples that got destroyed. So I did get to search the blue boy off that, and then during standby phase I used Tower to draw again. He does chain Maiden. I go ahead and normal summon blue boy here to get my turn started. And grab secrets, grab master, reveal a wisdom in hand. Right now I'm just trying to load my graveyard up for fate. Guess it's going to be sort of my next big play, but I do go for knowledge here because I want more card advantage, especially because I can just instant fusion here, and I go to take his Maiden and then just you know, knowledge it away, get rid of the Maiden on top of that, grab some free cards out of it. Why not? Went to play Duality, realized I couldn't because I special summoned. And I think that's literally all I do that turn other than swing for 500 with Blue Boy. He go ahead and plays that Disciples there, shuffles in 3, and go ahead and gets an additional draw here. And popping Tower at this point, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to bring out something like, what is it, Kaiku. So it uses extra normal off Disciples, and then he goes ahead and uses the normal summon on the Rocky Boy, of course. Rocky Boy, not too big of a deal for me, but it is what it is. Then he goes and plays Heritage. Gets an additional draw, or uses the draw effect of Heritage, I should say. Sets 1. And I believe is going to, after, of course, swinging for quite a bit of damage, perhaps pass back over to me. End phase there. Going to go ahead and return that to his hand. Standby phase, we get to go ahead and activate Tower. Return Spellbook of Knowledge at the bottom. Get an additional draw there. Heading into main phase 1. Go ahead and normal summon Kaiku, which is really good because I do have Spellbook of Power. And that diagram, though, is a huge problem for me right now. And I did have the Fate set, and luckily he didn't use the pop effect of Disciples the previous turn. So I do banish the diagram and get rid of it so I can beat over with Kaiku, who's at 2800. And then I have the Wisdom for me to call Trap. And I do banish 2 monsters out of his grave as a result of that. Add Wisdom, or add Eternity rather, off the power. And then add back Secrets. Add another copy of Fate for the following turn. And then I set 1 and pass. That's really all I can do, is just sort of play around Fate here. The banishing effect of Kaiku, of course, does nothing. And then his extra normal summon alone just, you know, is something that can run it over anyways. And, of course, get the additional effect here. I do have to chain, no other choice other than to chain Fate on the destruction there. I lose it for good. Go ahead and I'm going to banish Dynamite Knuckle here, but not before he chains it to activate. Which I actually don't think he would have been able to do that because Rocky Boy was on the field. Which is not that big of a deal, in all honesty. Having that extra trap there really doesn't make too much of a difference as you would think. Of course, he does Resolve Demise there, which is just enough to cancel that out anyways, because that's just going to get him a ton of advantage. You see, he draws into Terraforming. He gets to the Disciple draws. Terraforming for, of course, Diagram. Runs over Kaiku in the battle phase. Sets 2 and passes. Standby phase, we get to use Tower here again. Not wanting to use any sort of destruction effect on my Tower because that will, at this point, I'm pretty sure be able to summon me almost a Priestess. I'm not entirely sure. I go for Duality Reveal. Unfortunately, not anything too great. I decide to grab Justice off of that as sort of being my best option. Because I already have another Kaiku in hand, so I just normal Kaiku. He pays 1,000 for, I believe, Skill Drain. In order to stop the banishing effect from happening, wanting to keep some True Dracos engraved, so of course Disciples can still be used. So the effect of Kaiku to banish won't go through, but he'll take the 2,800 total, 1,000 from Skill Drain, and of course then 18 from Kaiku. You know, get another Diagram, I believe you start at this turn with. Or I might be seeing things, but I'm not exactly sure. Either way, normal summoning, Rocky Boy, and that in of itself is a easy target for, or an easy normal summon just to get rid of Kaiku. And then he pops to hit the set back row off diagram, and I chain Called by the Grave just to banish the last monster in his grave. Got a lot of banish cards in this matchup, which it doesn't really hurt your Draco too much. Not having the monsters in grave only hurts to the extent that it's like, okay, it's a little harder to use Disciples. You know, it's a little harder to resolve True King's Return, but regardless, it's not enough. He does have a way to get an extra tribute summon there, regardless if he didn't have that extra illegal apocalypse, if you will. It's not too big of a deal. These things happen. Humans, they make mistakes, if you weren't aware, so all good. We're going to head into game 3 here. Didn't have as a productive game 2 there as I really wanted to. Had to sort of rely on fate too much and didn't really have any other things for follow-up plays. Duality, Blue Boy, Secrets, Masters, getting me fate here. And then I go ahead and use Knowledge to draw into 2. Just hoping to get something on my field, you know, for fate. And I just have Called by the Grave set, or was going to set it, but I decided not to because there's really no reason to set it, just so I can lose it to, you know, Disciples or Heritage. Obviously no reason to want to do that. Wanted to just keep it in hand for hand traps, and then obviously the rest is, you know, self-explanatory. And then he's going to go ahead and destroy it, destroy Tower here, which I could summon. I believe I can summon a level 4 spellcaster here, which I do end up doing. Is he still searching here? He's going to add Maiden. I get to summon Kaiku because once... I believe that's how Tower works. It counts itself in the grave. The wording on it isn't too precise. Either that or I summon Justice if it's not how it works exactly. Forgive me for not 100% knowing. I'm not a spellbook master by any means, but either way, I get a body on board to sort of block from... I guess it's not the greatest because he doesn't use Apocalypse just to, you know, tribute that away, destroy the Kaiku anyways. Play another diagram here, use that to pop the Heritage that he had to play another Disciples, and then use the Disciples here to return 3. Use it was like 2 spells and a trap. Put those back into the deck, get a nice draw there, getting plenty of advantage. A very, very good turn for our true Draco player here. For me, not so much. I think, again, if I was playing Temperance, to some extent, my turn might have been a little bit better. So in all honesty, I might switch back to a Temperance build because I find myself a lot of times just getting Priestess on board, and the field presence it brings is a lot of times just better, because the problem I find is just not always having a spellcaster when you need it to be there, and to use cards like Fate and stuff and Master. But he has Order, which pretty much 100% seals the deals. I have no way to out that without getting Priestess on the board, which who knows where that card is at this point in time. But anyways, like I said, guys, and sorry I took up some of the time of the video to discuss that, but I think it's kind of important is where we go from here with the channel, being that we are now over 6,184 subscribers is where we're at currently. I do want to overhaul the duel videos, since I think they're the bread and butter of the channel, and I think most of you guys will be able to agree with that. I think it's by far the most popular and consistent thing I do, and I just want to take them to the next level, and getting that tripod, the new camera. I'm going to be designing sort of an overlay, get some sort of life point system thing in play. If anybody has any ideas on sort of like softwares, or I guess techniques and how to get life points done really well into a video like that, anybody has any suggestions, let me know. I think somebody left a suggestion in my Discord, but I since forgot the link. I think it's lost in the annals of my Discord chat history, because I just forgot to save it. But it is what it is. Again, it might not have been the most exciting matchup, and that I apologize, but your viewership, of course, is appreciated 100% nonetheless. Love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate the support. And as always, Winter Kill signing out. We'll see you in the next one.